Life is not easy. It is not. Don't try to make it that way. Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. You are not. Get over it and get on with it. So the question that we got to ask ourselves is, what success is to us? What success is to you? Is it more money? That's fine. I got nothing against money. Maybe it's a healthy family. Maybe it's a happy marriage. Maybe it's to help others, to be famous, to be spiritually sound, to leave the world a little bit better place than you found it. Continue to ask yourself that question. Now, your answer may change over time, and that's fine. But do yourself this favor. Whatever your answer is, don't choose anything that will jeopardize your soul. Prioritize who you are, who you want to be, and don't spend time with anything that antagonizes your character. Be brave, take the hill, but first answer that question, what's my hill? So first, we have to define success for ourselves. And then we have to put in the work to maintain it. Take that daily tally. Tend our garden. Keep the things that are important to us in good shape. Where you are not is as important as where you are. It is just as important where we are not as it is where we are. Look, the first step that leads to our identity in life is usually not, I know who I am. I know who I am. That's not the first step. The first step's usually, I know who I am not. Process of elimination. Defining ourselves by what we are not is the first step that leads us to really knowing who we are. You know that group of friends that you hang out with that they really might not bring out the best in you? You know, they gossip too much, or they're kind of shady. They really aren't going to be there for you in a pinch. Or how about that bar that we keep going to that we always seem to have the worst hangover from? Or that computer screen, right? The computer screen that keeps giving us an excuse not to get out of the house and engage with the world and get some real human interaction. Or how about that food that we keep eating? Stuff that tastes so good going down, it makes us feel like crap the next week. We feel lethargic and we keep putting on weight. Well, those people, those places, those things, stop giving them your time and energy. Just don't go there. I mean, put them down. And when you do this, when you do put them down, when you quit going there, when you quit giving them your time, you inadvertently find yourself spending more time and in more places that are healthy for you, that bring you more joy. Why? Because you just eliminated the who's, the where's, the what's, and the when's that were keeping you from your identity. Like, trust me, too many options, I promise you, too many options will make a tyrant of us all. All right, so get rid of the excess, the wasted time. Decrease your options. If you do this, you will have accidentally, almost innocently, put in front of you what is important to you. by process of elimination. Knowing who we are is hard. It's hard. Give yourself a break.
Harmony the complete balance of the senses. Sight, sound, smell, touch, and taste. Create your state of harmony in no time at all with the Baron Foods Gourmet Collection. Baron, we make food tasty.
The secret to stop absorbing other people's energy is to change what you tune into. Many of us are watching so many hours of television which tells lies to your vision. We have to tell our own vision. Tell our vision. That's what we should change it to. Programs. Jerry Springer hasn't been on for ages, but talk show programs, we're absorbing all of their problems when they're talking about their relationships, all of their problems. Some of it may be beneficial, which is beautiful, but a lot of the television programs are there to keep us distracted, to keep us like programmed robots, zombies, drones. Wake up! The human brain is a giant antennae, a transmitter and receiver of information. Therefore, we have to be conscious of what channel we are tuning into. That is how to stop absorbing other people's energy. Change your channel. Change your focus. Just like a TV, if you don't want to watch a program, you change the channel so you don't have to take in that energy. The secrets of nature are revealed in every aspect of our life, if only we would look. Women connect to the universe through their womb, which is the stargate. It is, in essence, the gateway between two worlds, spirit and matter. Many women feel through their wombs. It talks to them. It is their seat of intuition. Therefore, to stop absorbing other people's energy, other people's junk, women have to learn how to protect their womb, cultivate the womb, place it in healing energies, go to nature, take a walk, take a swim, jump up and down, feel alive. We have to feel alive to stop absorbing other people's energy. Most of all, we have to say to ourselves, we are worthy. You are worthy. Live, breathe, enjoy. That's the secret. Many nice people feel if I am polite, that's all I need to get through life. No, we have to be direct and true with ourselves. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Be yourself. The power of no, that will get you far in life. Say it with confidence. Set energetic boundaries. Once you can say no to people with confidence, you stop absorbing everyone's energy. People's energies you don't want to absorb. A lot of really nice people they deny themselves the truth because they want to make everyone feel happy. So they don't want to say no to anyone. They don't want to hurt people's feelings and upset other people. In essence, they upset themselves by refusing to listen to their inner oracle, which is their heart.
It's always the perfect time for parents.
So I found a recipe online, my friends. I found a recipe online and I've only made it once. So I'm actually very afraid to make it for you guys. But I really loved it the one day I made it. So I'm just going to make it again. It's oatmeal, oat and banana cookies, 2-ingredient cookies. And again, if you know me, you know I like really simple things. So here are oat and banana cookies that I found online, only the second time I'm ever making it in my life. So 1 large banana and 1 cup of oats. Sounds so simple, right? Like I can't possibly do this wrong, right? I hope so. So here is 1 large banana that I have already chopped up. And here are my oats that I got in the supermarket. You can get these from any supermarket. Here's my measuring cup because I'm not going to do this wrong. I'm going to make sure I get this right because I'm on camera and I don't want to make mistakes. So hold on, let me get a fork so that I can mash up my bananas. All I'm going to do is mash up these bananas in this bowl and then add 1 cup of oats and then mix them in this bowl, and that's it. I hope that this works. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so then there is my mashed banana. My banana is mashed. Did I forget to tell you that you have to preheat the oven? I'm sorry. So preheat your oven at 180 degrees Celsius. So I had already done that. I'm sorry I forgot to tell you. So I had already done that. So now you want to put your bananas and your oats in a bowl together and mix them, and that up makes cookies. I know it doesn't sound like something believable, but it really does. So your bananas into your bowl and then a cup of oats. So this is my measuring cup. This is my trusty measuring cup to make sure that I don't mess this up, because the last time I did this I really followed the recipe almost to the letter, but I did make some alterations close to the end, which I might do again. We'll see what happens, because sometimes you really just need to figure these things out for yourself, because sometimes I don't know the size of the banana, how thick or heavy your oats are. All those things vary from person to person, so you really need to sort of wing it a little bit. So that's it. My bananas are in my bowl. I'm adding oats slowly to the bowl, and that is the whole recipe. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm just going to add a little at a time. So if you look in here, I can't add much more in terms of oats because it's got to a place where it's nice and sticky and it's sticking together. But if I add any more, it'll get really dry and there's still some oats left in here. So honestly, sometimes you need to just wing it and look at it for yourself. Make sure that it's a sticky consistency. You want to be able to just stick them together so that they don't break apart on your pan. And by pan, I mean the one that goes into the oven. So you want to make sure that they don't break apart. So now we're going to form the cookies and put them in the oven. So at some point you're going to move from using your fork to some hand action, and your hands are very important here because we need to form the cookies because they're not going to spread out. Keep that in mind. It's not like a regular cookie that we just place onto the baking tray and then it spreads out. It's not going to do that. There are no fats in there. Well, there's the fat from the banana, but there's nothing that's going to really make it spread out. So you need to make sure to flatten it and shape it yourself. So that's where hand action comes into play. So you need to make sure you have some really clean hands. I'm going to bring my baking tray so that you can see it. So that you can see it. I'm going to bring my baking tray so that you can see it. I have already pre-greased and put some foil on this. Also remember there's very, very little fat in this cookie, so it's going to stick onto whatever it's on. So you want to make sure you need to grease the foil so that you don't get messed up and have like just cookies crumbling all over. Okay, grab a little bit, roll it into a ball, form it into a cookie. Right, something like that, and then place that on the tray. So you want to keep doing that. This should make maybe 10 cookies with one banana and almost a cup of oats. That should make about 10 cookies. I just want to show you guys how you can also alter these things. For the last 5, or 3, I have maybe three or 2 cookies left in there. I have some sultanas that I had in my kitchen. So let me find them and add them to this so that you can see that we can really put anything in them. So these are some sultanas I have left over from a different recipe. I want to add them to the dough that we've made so that you can see that you can really do whatever it is that you want with this and add any type of flavor that you want into it. People sometimes would use dried fruit, any other type of dried fruit. Sultanas, raisins work, chocolate works. Some people put chocolate chips in there and then it becomes a little more decadent and a little more delicious. Coconut, nuts, anything, whatever you want. So I'm just going to add a few sultanas and then you can see what happens and how it changes the cookie. I love sultanas. I don't know what kind of fruit do you really like, and what kind of fruit would you add to a cookie, or are you more of a chocolate person? I'm really a chocolate person, but ever since I've been trying to live a little healthier, drier fruit has really been doing it for me. So yeah, the same thing applies. You make the ball, you flatten it, and then here is the sultana one. You make the ball, you flatten it, and there is your sultana cookie. Oh, look at that cute little baby one. That's the one that's going to be the taste test one. You know how you always make a taste test item to make sure that you're not eating nonsense. So yeah, I pop this into the oven, and then, which has been preheating, remember 180 degrees. It's been preheating so far, so I'm just going to pop this into the oven, and then we're going to wait about 10 minutes. It takes about 10 minutes to make these, and then we are going to see what happens. I hope they come out really well, because remember, it's the second time I've made it, so I really don't want to mess up. It's been 10 minutes. Okay, it's been 12 minutes. It's been 12 minutes, but it's time to take them out of the oven. I'm so excited. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. See, my sultanas have started to brown. That means they'll be so sweet. In fact, these ones are like fully black and burnt. Leave those ones alone. I told you, I've been doing this recipe. This is the second time I'm doing this recipe. Anyway, so I'm just going to plate these. These are still warm, but you can already hear the crunch. I'm going to let them cool. Let's just start with these 4. So yeah, oat banana cookies. They look delicious. Don't they look delicious? And they're brown along the edges. When they fully cool, I know they'll be a lot crunchier. So I think I'm going to actually wait for that, because I think I want the bite. So let's give it a few minutes. I plated them. This is what they look like. Like I said, I like mine chewy. This is nice and chewy in the center, but the edges are still nice and crisp. If you want a crisper cookie, flatten it down a little more, and then it'll be thinner. zero processed sugar, no flour in these cookies, and they're just as good as regular cookies, and even a little better because you know that you're eating well. So like it's making you happy as you eat them. Please try these. The ingredients are down below. Please make sure that you try them. They're really, really good. And they're so chewy and they're so delicious, and you'll feel so good eating them because they're so good for you and you want to eat these good things. So continue to eat well because you are what you eat, and let us continue to have our cake and eat it. Back to my tag. You are what you eat, so eat well. And join me in the future so that we can continue to have our cake and eat it.
Hey guys, I'm Paige, and we're going to do 5 basic stretches to make sure you prevent injury and you optimize your performance when you're outdoors running. This is good to do when you're out, you've already warmed yourself up, and it's time to get a good stretch routine, so here we go. The first stretch is going to be a calf stretch. Place your foot, heel on the ground, toe up against the wall. We're going to stand up nice and tall, keep those hips right up over the feet. We're going to push ourselves forward with the back leg, pull forward with your arm if possible, giving a good stretch with that gastrocnemius and that soleus muscle. Hold each stretch for about 30 to 45 seconds. Try to keep yourselves good and relaxed, and let your body go through that full range of motion, and it should feel mildly uncomfortable, yet not painful, okay? And then once you finish, you just come and relax and come on off. And make sure you're gonna do both sides. The next stretch we're going to do for running is the piriformis stretch. This is a good one to make sure that our hips are good and mobile and we have good flexibility there. So let's go ahead and have a seat. We're going to create a figure 4 with our legs here. Place the right ankle over the left knee. One hand on your ankle, the other hand on your knee. Try to keep this lower leg parallel with the ground. Keep your spine good and tall. And we're going to bend forward from your hips as far as you comfortably can. Hold this stretch for about 30 to 45 seconds. And then come back and relax. The third stretch we're going to do is for your hip flexors. You're going to start with one knee on the floor. You're going to have your legs at 90 degrees, standing up nice and tall, good long spine. And what you're going to do is a anterior pelvic tilt. Scoop your tailbone up under you, tilt those hips backwards, and you'll really feel the engagement of your hip flexor here. That's the basic stretch. Now, if you want a little bit more to even engage the top of your hamstrings, you'll lean forward, keep that pelvic tilt, keep that tailbone scooped, and you'll hold this stretch for 30 to 45 seconds, and then you'll come back. And then switch legs. And we'll make sure we do both sides. All right, guys, the fourth stretch we're gonna do is for your IT band. This one you're gonna do standing. So we're gonna start with our feet shoulder width apart. We're gonna step our left leg back behind our right leg. Keep your hips square as possible. Place your right hand on your hip. Your left hand's gonna go straight up, nice and tall spine. We're going to bend over to our right, focus on pushing your hips out to your left. You should feel this stretch go all the way down from your shoulder, all the way down your side, into that hip and IT band, and even down your leg. Hold this stretch for about 30 to 45 seconds. Use a support, maybe like a wall or a table, and stand next to it if need be. And then when you're finished, you're gonna come back up, and then we'll switch. We'll go to our right leg. All right, guys, the final stretch before we start running is our hamstring stretch. We're gonna start in a standing position, feet shoulder width apart. We're going to extend the right leg out, heel on the ground, toe pointing straight up. Sit your hips back so that your weight is into the center of this left leg. You're going to extend and reach with this right leg forward towards your toe. Keep that right leg as straight as possible. Reaching forward, right leg is locked. Hold this stretch for 30 to 45 seconds. Make sure you keep your balance. All right, guys, now you have the tools you need for your run. Go out there, burn up the pavement, and have a good time.